welcome back. STASSA23 here. Well, mini STASSA23 here. For those of you who don't know, I am Nick's stepdaughter, also his daughter. He's my dad. Today is January 23rd, and it is Nick's birthday. So, for his birthday, I thought that I would make a video for his lovely channel and all of his lovely followers, and just talk about who he is and what he means to me as a father and what he's taught me, and so on. So it's gonna be a little different. It's definitely not about knives. Sorry, guys. But it's personal, and it'll shed some light into who Nick is as a person. So I want to start off by saying those of you who have watched him for a while now know that he got into an accident, and I don't know like what everyone knows, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he did get into a work accident and he was burned, and so it changed his life, my life, our family's lives, pretty much forever. He went from being able to throw knives in the backyard with us and hang out with us and get down on the floor and play with, you know, our little sister, which you guys have, she's been on here. And so he went from being able to do all of those things to, you know, not being able to at one point. And so the accident happened and he was in a coma, and they didn't know like if he was gonna make it. The doctors really wouldn't be positive about it because they didn't want us to get our hopes up, because it was such a severe situation and there was so much going on, and with the type of injuries that he had, you just never know. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. And so we waited and waited, and you know, he came out of his coma and he had many surgeries and skin grafts, and a lot of things failed, and time again Nick would get his hopes up and it just wouldn't work out the way that we thought it would be and the way he thought it would be, you know. And at one point we didn't think that Nick would walk, and as you guys can see, he walks, and he's almost pretty much back to himself. A lot of things changed for him appearance-wise and, of course, emotionally. When you go through that kind of trauma, you would expect that. So a lot of things changed for him emotionally, and, you know, my mom and him, and so a lot of things changed. But throughout everything, Nick has always been brave, and he's always had a brave face. You know, he's never shown, I don't want to say he's never shown weakness, because he's been vulnerable, but he's never been negative. He's never been sad. He's never like told us or shown us that he was afraid, or that, you know, he was depressed or anything like that. Through the whole time, he was a warrior, a fighter. And so our nickname for him is, we call him our Balboa from Rocky Balboa, because we call him a fighter. And so I actually have a tattoo of, I'll try and show you guys. It's old fashioned boxing gloves for him. I got it in the midst of everything, kind of. And so Nick is so resilient and such a try not to crash, so I'm like, sorry. He's just a fighter and never gave up, and we never gave up on him. And even before his accident, to give you guys some insight, before his accident, because he's my stepdad, I had a bad dad, like an actual father. He was pretty terrible. And so Nick, from the time he came into our lives, he was younger. My mom was older than him. You know, she had 4 children. He had none. He had a dog. And so he came into our lives full force. He was there for us whenever we needed him. He would always, always, always put us first, no matter what, even though we weren't his, even though, you know, he didn't have to accept us. He didn't have to be with my mom when he first found out, you know, nothing. He came in and with no hesitation at all, just was like, I'm here. I'm going to help you. I'm going to get y'all through what y'all are going through. I'm going to support y'all all the way. And it never changed. If I couldn't go to my mom, I couldn't talk to my mom about something, I could go to Nick about it. If I did something bad and I was scared to tell my mom, I would tell Nick, you know. And so he never yelled. He never, you know, was mean or degrading or anything like that. He was super supportive and has always been super supportive. Still to this day is still super supportive with everything he has going on in his life. So much is happening for him. And no matter what, I can call him and just be like, hey, you know, so-and-so, this is happening, and he'll be there. And he'll listen, and, you know, he won't make it about him. He won't try and, like, shift the focus and be like, oh, well, this is what's happening with me. Nothing. He will just sit there, listen, encourage, and support you no matter what you go through. And he's just such a great person. He has been through a lot in his life, even before the accident and now after the accident. His life has changed so dramatically, and if you look at him, physically you can tell clearly. But if you talk to him, if you have a conversation with him, you can't tell about anything that he's going through. He just is so strong. There's no other way to say it, really. I mean, he's just strong. And so, he is, hands down, probably one of the best, if not the best person I've ever met in my life. And it means so much to me. And to me, he is my dad. He came into my life when I was, I don't know, maybe like 13 or so. And he is still, he's my dad. It's that simple for me. There's no line, there's no like stepdad, like nothing. He is my father. I call him my father. I actually call him Nick, but everybody calls him Nick. So, and that's it. And so, I want to thank you guys, his followers, for being there, because with Nick going through so much, his videos and talking about knives and mods and all of the crazy things you guys talk about, I know a little bit thanks to him, but all the things you guys talk about helps him so much. And I don't think that people realize like how much, just because to some people it's just small talk, to some people it's just a hobby, but for Nick it's a way of life, and it's an outlet, it's a coping skill. Yes, it's a hobby, but that is him. You know, you're not gonna meet Nick and not know about knives, you know, and so you're not gonna talk about knives and Nick not chime in. It's just not gonna happen. It's something that he's extremely passionate about, and it's probably one of the only things that wasn't taken from him in the accident, was the ability to be able to work with knives, sharpen knives, talk about knives, deal with knives. So he, I mean, in my opinion, it saved him. I think that's the one thing that never made him be like, you know, I'm gonna give up. Or when he gets sad, that's something that he does, is he makes videos, or he talks to his friends about knives, or, you know, he'll talk to us about knives. And so it's very meaningful to Nick and to us as a family. I know I'm the only one talking, but to us as for our entire family, it's so meaningful that you guys are here and support him and follow him and talk to him, help him, give him tips, you know, just everything that you guys do. You help with the giveaways, like, you know, everything. It's so important to us because it helps Nick so much, and it makes him happy. And after going through something so traumatic, all you ever want to be is happy and feel normal and feel okay and safe. And so you guys do that for him. And he always asks us to come on here on his platform and, you know, talk or interact and whatever. And I'm a very personal person. I like to keep to myself. I don't really want my business out there or anything like that. So I always kind of like shrug it off. But it's his birthday, and I knew I could buy him so many things, but I knew at the end of the day, the most valuable thing to him is to encourage him on his platform and to show him that we acknowledge, hey, this is what you love, we support it, we want to help you, you know, so on and so forth. And so that's why I'm making the video. But I just want to say thank you. Nick is not very prideful, but he's a man, you know, so he doesn't want to be like, you know, whatever. Sappy, I guess is a good word. So I will say it for him. Thank you so much for everything you guys do and will continue to do, and everybody who helps him, his friends who visit him and hang out with him, and the men at Jim's Firearms, because he loves that place. And so just everybody in this atmosphere, you guys have helped him, you guys have encouraged him. He will continue to get better, and he will continue to strive for better and strive to be better and learn more. And it's because of you guys that he really enjoys something in life after going through what he went through. So with that being said, sorry this video is, I guess, long. I'm not really sure. I don't know a lot about YouTube or making a video, if you cannot tell. I'm also very like shy, and you know, so sorry if I kind of rambled, or it's not very put together. It's not, I didn't rehearse this, I just spoke. So I hope you guys continue to support and love Nick as much as we support and love Nick. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and you guys have a good day.